Like when I was growing up and learning how to play guitar, I was broke, so I would just take whatever picks I could find, or whatever was cheap or whatever strings were on sale, and I would change strings like maybe twice a year, if that, until the band kicked off and we started touring and gaining popularity and stuff like that. And then that's, as you do, you start reaching out to companies and well, this is what I use anyways. Do you have an artist program, or could you, if not give us stuff, at least give us a price break, because we're, Ozfest 99, literally we were making $20 each of us a day per diem. So it was have guitar picks and strings or eat, And they were great, man. They were very supportive right from the get-go. And from that day on, literally Ozfest 99, I've been using Dunlop products since. And I was approached by Dunlop, who was because Dunlop wasn't making strings when I was a kid. This is something relatively new in my world for this. But when I was talking to them, they're like, look, we can make your gauges, but we can mess with the core of them since it's a lower tuning. And then that way I could have a thinner gauge, but still have it feel like there's a lot of tension on the string. And I was like, well, that's kind of awesome. I was trying to find an even balance from top to bottom, where it didn't feel like it was a really extreme jump from one string to the next in the diameter of the string. I mean, it might sound kind of silly, but I can really feel the difference when it comes down to millimeters. And if you're moving around and there's a little bit of string skipping, there's a lot of people think Slipknot's a lot of this, but there's, we're combining fifth chords and augmenteds, and, there's all kinds of different chord phrasings that we use in the band, and to have it be as consistent as possible through the range of strings is kind of important. And I just kind of went with what I was using, and I had them increase the core on the wound strings, and then that was it. B is 11, 15, 20 plain, 36, 42, 56. It was nice to be able to go to the 56, have it match in with the rest of the strings, but then increase the core so it had the tension of, say, a 58. And A is 12, 16, 20 plain. I like that 20 plain. I don't like a wound string on the third one. 38, 48, 64. But I've been using these, this gauge for so long, and I'm so used to it. It feels so natural. Another thing that I dig about these strings is it doesn't really count for the guitars that I have on tour, because Brad, my tech, he changes the strings every day. He sets the guitars up, does all that work. But the guitars that I have at home, practicing and recording, I barely ever practice, but I like to write and record, fiddle around in front of the computer. And I have guitars that have had strings on them for multiple years, and they're still bright. They're still chimey. It's a pretty cool thing.